Argentina's greatest hits will not be seen at this time. Instead, we bring you this even more disturbing program. Good evening and welcome to Cult of Contempt. The show will begin shortly as soon as we get transmission to space. No! In the meantime, let's...
Peggy, of course I can't go swimming. You know I've got the curse.
It's Out and About with Jim Cook and Paul Hall. Tonight's episode, Enter the Necropolis.
Necropolis. Serving up everything from superheroes to the obscure. 59 Passaic Street, Garfield, New Jersey.
Your destination is on the left.
Oh my god, your story's great. There's some cool shit here.
See you in hell, you wingless bloodsuckers!
This is where the magic happens. Everything. Spiders. This creepy,
Necropolis. 59 Passaic Street, Garfield, New Jersey. Patronize if you dare.
Next time on Out and About, Ladies' Night at the Clash Bar.
Goddammit, I fucking love her!
Hey guys, Sweet Jimmy Cook, 16 Mathematics celebrating their 15th anniversary. Come check them out with Quiz Show, The Outliers, and Sad About Girls. Paul Crane's gonna be there. I'm gonna be there. You gonna be there?
Live from space, but really in a living room. Inquisitor is looking grimly with an inquiry. It's time to name the asshole of the week soon. Called up contempt. Called up contempt. Called up contempt. Wednesdays at 8:15.
Hello!
Yo, what's up?
What's up, party people?
Here we are, the Cult of Contempt.
Hey everybody, how
Happy
we doing?
Wednesday. Happy hump day.
So, hey, thanks Santos, man. You're the gift that keeps on giving. It's like 3 weeks and we're still using the footage of that night, so
Oh, yeah.
good on
You were
Santos.
Drag queen extraordinaire.
6 to 8. Made an awesome video.
Yeah, it was great,
Awesome.
and it was
Great
tribute to
video.
Buzz, and it was funny because that night I ran into Robert Mitchum, an old friend of Buzz's.
Oh, yeah.
He's in the band Mitchum. His CDs are available anytime you run into him. So anyway, so Mitchum's a good dude. Now, and we were talking, I was like, Buzz really got a fucking kick out of this. And then Alana made the video, and I was like, and then I was writing to her, and I was like, wait, was Mitchum even there, or did I imagine that? I don't know. I was really high that night. I mean, I was eating cookies.
No, yeah, Mitchum was there.
He was, yeah.
Mitchum didn't spirit ghost himself into there.
He was actually there.
Astral projects like
Yeah.
Doctor Strange. Yeah.
He's the guy that can always pull off the tie-dye, I think. I don't think everybody can do that. He's the guy that can do it.
He's a guy that could pull off tie-dye and also pull off like a fucking badass, like, sparkling shirt, like Chris Jericho.
Oh, yeah, he does
You know,
do that.
like fucking...
He wears the sparkly shirts.
I know, yeah, he rocks
Yeah.
He's
like
that guy.
20 different fucking styles.
I want to see him perform. I mean, I've heard his music. He's got a great song called Spring Break on that one record where he's like in a classroom. I don't know who he paid to get posed in front of a classroom. Maybe it was a green screen. But anyway, the song Spring Break, it's like kind of like a crazy like Ramones song.
We should get
fun.
Mitchum on the podcast.
You should.
You would allow Mitchum
Into my domicile?
to
Absolutely, yeah.
Space
I
the
like
trek
Mitchum.
to the space station is a rough
I like
journey.
Mitchum. Yeah, no, SpaceX is good. They launched a thing today, got it up to like the height of a skyscraper, and then landed it down safely. So they're doing okay. We're going to be traveling, getting more guests up here, thanks to SpaceX.
Hooray!
SpaceX.
Thank
Elon
you, Mr.
Mars,
Tesla.
Musk, is that his name?
Elon Musk.
Elon Mars
Elon
is
Mars.
actually
Elon Mars.
Nick Mars' child, but that's another story altogether.
Big Mars' son, Elon, is going to be flying people up to our space station
Right, that's right, on the way to Mars.
on the way to Mars.
Because they ain't coming back from there.
Well, Matt Damon came back from there.
Yeah, he grew potatoes and figured out how to make air.
Did you see that whole movie? I've never seen it.
I think I did watch that whole movie. I watched a couple of weird sci-fi movies from that time. There was that one. There was another one where Amy Adams talks to a fucking, like an alien sphere that
Oh,
like,
yeah.
can translate all languages.
She's like an anthropologist
and all
and
this
shit.
nonsense. Oh my god. Independence Day.
one that can talk to the alien.
Independence Day 2, best part was that they brought back that guy that plays Data.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that was great. I don't know, there was like a bunch of
Radner.
sci-fi movies that came out around that time, but in my mind they all kind of just meld together as one giant shitty movie where Matt Damon is on Mars while some other shit lands on Earth and then a bunch of other crap blows up and Will Smith isn't in it.
Did you see that movie around that time called Gravity with Sandra Bullock?
Oh,
and-
yeah.
Gravity, I saw that.
Is that science
Including-
fiction technically? Because,
Kinda.
but it's realism.
No, it's not. There's
All
a
of that
movie-
could have happened.
No, there's a movie, a thing online, like a YouTube video that just like kind of debunks like so much of that. It's like that's not possible that would happen there. Like there's no way this would ever happen.
For that actual movie, but there's a lot. There's actually countries that employ science fiction writers to try to predict the technology that's coming out in the future, and there have been a lot of science fiction writers that have predicted
Orwell
Stanley
technology.
Kubrick.
Orwell
I don't
did
know about
pretty
you.
good. 1984.
Yeah,
I mean,
for sure.
with the screens, like if
For sure.
the government wanted, they could implement that.
They are in China.
Yeah. The
Oh, shit,
Chinese
really?
people are
Yeah.
fucking. They're like suffering. Like their government is like cracking down.
Right,
And they
because
have
of
this-
that Pooh Bear guy.
They have this social
Right? No,
media. It's like this that social status where it's like if you do too much fucked up shit on social media, like
Right.
you're not allowed to ride the subway because of the facial recognition. It
Right.
like looks at you and it's like, no, you're not permitted. Like you're undesirable.
No, it's everything together. It's everything you spend, everywhere you go. You're on camera with facial recognition software. Everything you do on social media, they put it all together. They give you a citizen score.
Yeah.
Depending on what score you can get discounts on things, or you can have restricted movement, or other kinds of problems. Yeah,
There's an
it's
episode
fucked up.
That's some
of Seth
1980
MacFarlane's what's that movie? The Orville. There's an episode where they were on a planet that's just like that. Like
The
if you
people in
do
Hong
something-
Kong that are protesting cut down one of those
Yeah.
facial recognition
Dude, they're cutting
towers.
that shit down. They just point fucking lasers at it all the time. It's fucking great watching them. I like that too. They're like waving American flags, like
Yeah.
as like a fucking sign of
Like, fuck you.
Yeah, like a fuck you to them. Like that's the best fuck you ever.
The best fuck you ever was the British making Hong Kong, basically, because it could really never be brought into the main fold of mainland China. All the financial interests are there. There's a lot of companies that operate there that the Beijing government benefits from. So they're kind of fucked either way.
They're what, a communist government?
Supposedly they're a communist government, but they're just an oligarchy. They're just a bunch of rich guys that run the country. Same thing in Russia. Same thing
in the
everywhere.
States.
Yeah. But it's much worse there.
I want to live in the country where a poor guy rules.
A poor guy.
Like they just elect a homeless. It's just like, yeah, this guy should be our ruler. He just doesn't even talk. He's just like a homeless guy sleeping on a bench.
Do we need a ruler?
Speaking of homeless, all right.
Exactly.
Do we need that? I mean, we have the internet today. Can't everybody just vote on everything?
Then why not?
Why not?
No, they neither side wants that. They don't want a fair playing field. They all want to control it. That's what gerrymandering's about.
Yeah.
That's what voter suppression.
Well, there's a class of people that don't want that, but I think the majority of people on Earth might think it's a good idea.
But then again, do you want idiocracy? Do you want fucking
How do you know we're going to get
Stone Cold
idiocracy?
Steve Austin, President
There's-
Stone Cold Steve Austin, or even worse, President Ted Nugent, or even worse?
You know what?
I mean, it's only going to
I
get
like
worse
the
from
idea
here.
of everybody being able to vote on their phone or whatever. You register that
Yeah.
shit. It's pretty much everybody has one on them.
Right,
Or you
yeah.
could get a PIN number, whatever. Log in and do that shit.
Go to the fucking library if you're too poor to have a phone.
No, but
Do
the
it there.
thing is, it's like they wouldn't do that because they won't even. They say it's like a thing like you don't have to show your ID when you vote.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you can just walk in there and say, "Oh yeah, I'm whoever." You signed the fucking thing. They'll let you vote if you know the person's name and address.
Well, if you have to sign in with Google, I'm sure that's fine. That'll show your fucking identity, right?
That's the point. They don't want that
Okay.
because I think voter fraud is kind of like a thing still. Like I think people try. I think they try, man.
They take my fucking fingerprint on the goddamn keypad to open my phone. I think it's pretty solid. You know what I mean?
But I'm saying they don't want.
Like currently,
They don't
same
want.
voter fraud
I'm
system.
saying I agree with you.
I'm
Yes,
saying
it's completely secure if
that
you
would-
vote from your phone.
That would be more secure for longer, I think.
I agree with you, but I'm saying they don't want that.
Right.
I think they bank on fucking
Oh,
anybody
I
being
see.
able to go in and be like, "Oh, I'm Steve Smith from this address," and okay, then you sign the thing, you go vote. You don't have to show fucking any identification.
I don't think it's as bad as it was in the past. I mean, you know, like the Chicago machine in the old days, like they had people like whose names were on tombstones voting 5 times.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I mean. I think that should still happen.
And that was-
Voter
that was
Gangs in New York,
democratic.
they would like take the drunks and throw them in the vote, and then take them back and throw them in again.
That's right.
I mean, that's why we have certain things in place. But I see what Paul's saying. You're saying I could show up to some voter if I know the person's name and address and what district they're in. If I got their sample ballot, I could easily go vote for them. But who's got the fucking time for that?
To be honest
Somebody
with you,
that has too much time on their hands. A lot of fucking people. Old people.
Yeah.
I think old people, you gotta watch them.
Old people.
They are fucking sneaky. I think because they know where all their dead friends used to live.
Tread softly.
And they'll just go around and be like, "Oh, I'm Mildred Smith from 74 Willow Lane." And they'll just pretend to be their dead friend. I'm telling you, don't trust them. They're onto some shit.
Never trust the elderly.
The octogenarian shadow government.
Nice.
Old people show up to the polls. man.
OSG.
But, I mean, if you look at it, like, you know, there's more people that live in California and New York than fucking Wyoming, but with the Electoral College, Wyoming gets just as much
people.
or
They're all
more
gonna sink.
poll than the two fucking coastal states do that are the most populous. So if everybody voted from their phone, it would actually be democracy.
Yeah, it would, and they wouldn't like that.
I just think, yeah, but I mean, that means politics would change. It would become about cult of personality.
It already is about cult of personality.
You know what,
Barack Obama, that was cult of personality. Even Trump. What is that? What is that?
Oh, he's doing Live in Color.
Yeah. I love that song when I first came out.
Look in my eyes, what do you see here?
Did they have any other songs?
Elvis is Dead.
I don't know.
Glamour Boy.
Oh, Glamour Boy.
I'm no Glamour Boy. Oh, feels. Vivian Campbell was supposed to be a virtuoso.
Oh, yeah?
Virtuoso. And he always makes the guitar player lists because the guitar player lists are such bullshit. They just like fill in every demographic
down there. I mean, like, yeah, he is a guitar player,
but he's a black guitar player, so they had to put him in there because you need somebody besides Hendrix. They needed to mix it up. They always put fucking Joni Mitchell on those lists just because they need a girl. But there's so many other girls that could be on there. I mean, the chick from the Bangles could play.
Lita Ford.
Yeah.
No, not really.
Overrated. I don't know. I think Lita Ford is so overrated, but she's better than Joni Mitchell. But I don't know. There are Lita Ford people and there are Joan Jett people. You cannot be both. You have to
I
be
prefer
one or the
Joan
other.
Jett.
Joan Jett all the way, man.
Joan Jett's sexier.
I mean,
guess
come
that's
on.
the thing.
The argument, Paul. Joan Jett, Lita Ford.
I mean, I banged both of them.
We're not talking about banging. We're talking about like musical contribution, ability, charisma.
I don't know. Joan Jett played a bunch of covers. Like
she made it, but so did Elvis, and so did
so did a lot of
Sinatra.
people.
So
did a lot of people,
that's
but in an age of originality, that's why I kind of don't. I'm not. I like Joan Jett. I'm not shitting on Joan Jett, but I don't know.
Little Liar was hers, I think.
I don't know. I think the chick from 45 Grave wrote better fucking original music, like with 45 Grave.
I
like
don't
shit
know
like that
45
or
Grave.
X. You ever hear X?
Yeah.
Like
I
think
Adult Books is a cool
I
song.
think those.
Yeah.
Oh
those
God,
chicks-
Year One is one of the coolest rock songs.
I think
ever.
those chicks could lay more claim to fucking being punk rock than Joan Jett.
True.
Agreed.
I don't know. I like Joan Jett. I don't want to shit on Joan Jett.
Joan Jett, but the cool thing about her is you fucked her.
Yeah.
The cool thing about Joan Jett was like she kind of kept the LA punk scene alive. She did a lot of support for it.
Yeah.
When she didn't have to, she was rich enough to not have to care.
I wish
she was
they
friends
got-
with Pat Smear.
I wish when Nirvana came back, they got Chad Kroeger instead of her to sing, the guy from Nickelback. I think he would have been a fantastic choice.
She did such a good
front
job at that. Oh my god! And I even like that chick from that noisy band.
Like Springsteen, I would have been great.
Ugh.
You can never have another Nirvana in my.
I can't even say that with a straight face. That I think Chad Kroeger should have sang for Nirvana.
I think you know why I know you're gay because you know his name.
How do you not know it? That guy's name, Chad Kroeger. He used to fuck what's her name from Avril Lavigne for like so many years. Yeah, I always saw him on TMZ, so I know his name.
I ran into him at an Atlantic City casino, and all I could say to him was, "Why the long face?"
You did not.
I totally did.
Really?
And he said, "Fuck you," and I walked away. It was awesome.
Cheers to you.
Yeah. I'll
Cheers.
hold my glass to that.
Speaking of cheers.
Oh wow.
All right, so we did that bit on Necropolis. Our friend Doug is moving on from the business, so I've been assisting him in some selling, and I found this bottle of preserved tonic.
Let me show him that.
Now, Phil,
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong, historically speaking,
Okay.
tonic was a backdoor way to get white women to be able to drink during Prohibition, correct? If you made it medicine, just like medical marijuana.
Person to make you the person you want to be.
So anyway, but yeah, so this is probably about 100 years old or so. I don't know. There's so many different tonics and ancient ones, like old ones, that like, you know, it's hard to find the same one on eBay to know exactly what it's worth. But in the end, it's always only what it's worth when you know, what somebody's willing to pay for it. But
Just like anything
I like
else.
that it's person spelled wrong. That should be a band name. That'll be my next band. We're person. Person, the Nerve Tonics or something.
I'm really into person, man.
So I don't know.
You
like
person, bro.
Are you a person's person?
No, you person.
You person?
You person.
Are you person?
You person.
It just sounds like are you a guy that's carrying a purse? Are you pursing? Like you're like
person?
Are you a
It's not pursing. It's person.
But I'm just saying that's what it sounds like. It kind of I don't think it's gonna work.
I think it's gonna do like a Dr. Jekyll and
Mr. Hyde
type thing.
Mr. High?
Mr. Hyde.
Okay, are you gonna...
He has tasted the tonic.
Don't die.
Mm.
Yeah? Hasn't been open in 100 years, huh?
Ugh. Yeah, that was gross. I don't know, it kind of tasted what like Lou Albano's beard smelled like. And I actually met him at News 12 once. I don't think the guy showered.
Did you really?
Yeah, that
Hey,
was...
Paisan!
He was great.
I've had worse things in my mouth, but I don't think I should swallow that.
What worse things have you had in your mouth, Jim?
Do we have to talk about this on camera? Can we talk about it off camera?
And the show takes a weird turn.
Yeah, now that I've been actually watching the show on the computer, I noticed that like where we're like this big in the background, like the whole show, anytime we're saying something, Paul's like looking at the camera going,
Hey, it's a visual show.
Sometimes he makes the pulse. If it's a visual show, why are we still in the background? I understood
You're
that
not in the background. Look,
in the two assholes shitty podcast days, I got it. Phil was not a looker and didn't know how to drive.
Because I have
but
to
now you
sit
got the
over
big
here.
man.
Whoa.
I have to sit over here and control a computer. I got shit to do.
So this is just Paul and friends? Is that...
Yeah, it's Paul and friends.
Paul and friends, having fun. Paul and friends, fuck
I
your mom.
am working on the cult of, because I can't fucking say contempt when I'm out and about. Cult of contempt cookies, you know.
Really?
Friendship. Yeah, I'm working
No,
on
someday we're gonna sell out to the Christians and become the cult of content. It's
that. Good
happening.
Christian content.
Yeah, well, we get on Light FM. You're listening to the cult of content. I'm Paul Mall, here with James Cook and Philip Perry.
Hi, Paul. It's a blessed day to see you today.
It's blessed to see you too, James.
You know what I hate, Paul? It's the devil. Trying to bring our kids down.
You know, Philip, you really shouldn't hate anyone.
I think you're being a bit angry.
You know,
Not even the devil?
The devil was God's favorite angel, Philip. After all,
God,
there's
I
a
don't
very
wanna do this.
thin line between love and hate. James, what do you think?
Corruption's in all this. The
Apt
devil's in
assessment,
all
James.
this. I believe it was Eve who first bit the apple, and then
you
got
guys-
fucked.
Speaking of jokes, did you guys see the police fucking chase around the naked guy?
Oh, God. This is a treat. I've never seen a cop with a gun run away from a naked guy before.
Yeah, this is a real treasure.
This is fantastic. And it looks like he's sort of threatening with the gun, but not really.
Alright, so he's running. Apparently this guy murdered 3 people. And this cop is somehow afraid of him. I think because the cop doesn't want the first gay experience of his life.
Yeah, I think that's
so
what it
he's
is.
spraying shit in his face. And then
Cops
this guy,
are scared shitless to use any lethal force.
yeah,
these
I don't
days.
understand it. And then he
And
runs
he's
over.
white. You don't want to
He
get.
runs over and he's
Oh my
choking
God.
this guy. He's like an old man. and that guy doesn't throw a punch or nothing, and then he just hits him with about the force like my mom would roll up the newspaper and smack us like, you're gonna get a smack, you know?
Oh, cut it out, Jim.
And then he runs over...
Put some pants on.
Over here, like towards the... I guess they had news people set up for this. Like, did they know this guy was gonna streak? And he's just like who's trailing him? Like he's just running through the fucking fields. This is like the fucking safety dance video. Do.
Wicked dogs, everyone.
Yeah,
we can leave 3 dead bodies behind.
Like they're just like trotting behind him. Like I would be fucking tasering up. Oh, they got him at the end of the street. Up. Is he gonna get caught? Oh no. He fakes out the cop.
Where's the giant? Where's the giant butterfly net?
The dog. You think the dog gets him, but I'm not sure if he does, because I think I heard the dog just runs the other way. It's like the most useless police dog ever.
This guy's
I think you see the dog run out of the woods without the perpetrator. Did they get him? Oh, they finally got him. Any help from the dog? It's like fucking...
Dude, we gotta cut this and like speed it up and put the Benny Hill song.
Yes.
Yeah, everybody's been saying that.
Somebody's gonna do it first, so we'll have to do something else.
Well, you know that you got some really serious problems if the attack dog doesn't get you. Fucking attack dog.
What I
doesn't
don't
get you?
understand is why the hell didn't the cop...
Are you saying the attack dog was afraid of the man?
I don't know if he was afraid of the man or just put off by the man.
Why
but
didn't the
he
cop just take the gun from like the barrel? If he didn't, I could see like,
Right to the
it's
face.
an unarmed guy. All right, like I'm not gonna shoot him. He doesn't have a knife. He doesn't have a gun. Like I guess I don't need to use lethal force. For that guy, fucking use it. He seems like an asshole. But he could have just taken the gun and maybe like butted him right in the throat. You know, just take him the fuck down. Knock him down a few pegs.
Right.
He's obviously feeling a little fucking, I don't know, up.
I've seen cops on the show Cops be rougher with like cross-dressers at the fucking truck stop, you know?
Yeah.
Like what the fuck, man?
Yeah.
I love how he's just prancing around.
I kind of got a taste for it.
You got a taste for it?
Just prancing around and fucking like, I don't know. It's just like, what? Is this real? Like when I saw this, I saw it in like a little thing today. I was looking at lunch, like, oh, what's going on? I'm like, oh, this looks like a mockumentary. Like, this dopey slow cop.
It looks like a comedy skit.
That's what I thought it was. Like, oh, this is like probably British comedy. Like, they were just showing a naked guy running around, you know?
He's like smiling, his fucking Johnson's winging around.
Yeah. And then, much to my dismay, no, this is a real thing that's happening.
He don't really give a fuck. He's going out in style, man. He's fucking wow. Or
baby style.
Or maybe he realized he's fucked for 3 murders, so if he does this, he can prove insanity.
You know, if you're a cop, you gotta get over, like, the fear of homosexuality.
That's why the cops should just shoot these people.
The guy was gay, definitely?
We don't know if the guy was gay, but I feel like the only reason the cop was running away from him was because he was naked.
Yeah, definitely.
It was kind of like a 13-year-old kid, like, don't touch me, you got the gays, you got no pants
I'm gonna
on.
smack my penis on you. Ah! Like, that's what we should overdub over that footage.
I'm gonna smack my
I'm
penis.
gonna massage you, old man. Ah! And he goes over the old guy.
He was like choking him.
It was like, if I were that old guy, I would have just slugged that fucking kid as hard as I could. He's like a priest. You know what? More power to him. He's probably a nice guy. But I would have just fucking knocked that kid. If I were that cop, I would have taken that gun and swung it like a baseball bat at that kid's fucking temple. Fuck him. You know? You want him for 3 murders? Odds are a shot to the temple from the butt of a gun ain't gonna fucking kill him.
Yeah, really.
You know? You want to interrogate him, whatever? He'll fucking wake up.
Yeah.
That's bullshit. They should have just shot him, though. Right in the dick. They should have aimed for it.
Do you guys believe he would have gotten shot if he was black? Or brown?
I don't know. You know why? Because I think if you're naked and you don't have a weapon on you, where are you?
Well, if you're black and you're naked, you definitely have a weapon on you.
How?
Because your cock is so fucking big.
Oh,
it's just
besides
smacking
that-
cops around me.
Besides that,
That's a stereotype.
Okay.
besides massive black genitals,
I watch porn.
apt assessment, James.
But don't they hire guys with big cocks in porn just in general?
I don't know, man.
I don't know if that's really a good demographic view of the.
All right, we're off the rails here. That was just a joke, and now you took that window and ran.
I wonder if I think race.
Are you
could play a part
sad
in it.
because none of us laughed at your
No, God.
joke?
But I think another part of it.
I'm
was-
laughing on the
Do
inside.
you think you might go off the deep end?
Bum bum bum.
No, I'm trying to transition.
The deep end.
Did you see the Joker trailer came out?
Yes.
You didn't watch the Joker trailer, did you?
I watched the old one. Is there another one?
There's a new one that came out.
I didn't see it. Do we have it queued?
I have it queued,
Can we watch it now?
but without sound.
That's fine.
We'll not be able to have sound on it.
It's greater and sadder than the first.
But you know what?
Your transition was ham-handed, but I saw where you were going.
I'll describe it to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll watch it later.
I'll do the Bob Saget voice.
Nice.
No, here, the Joker is, I think he's the Joker. He's on a train and he's entertaining a young man. But the young man's mother, she's not having it. Stop bothering my child. That's what she says.
She really says that?
Something like that, yeah.
Ugh.
And then this guy he's like a fucking wackadoo. See him there? It's basically an origin story of the Joker.
Right. Do we need
And
this?
I think we do. It looks pretty cool, actually.
This scene I saw from the other trailer.
Yeah. He like basically works as like a clown and then works as a stand-up comic, and he's not funny, and he goes off the deep end. And I kind of think it's like, I don't know, it's got to be better than what's his name's Joker, Jared Leto.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Everybody hated it. I don't think the performance was bad. I thought that the makeup was just they rolled the dice. They tried to make him urban. It didn't work. But they rolled the dice.
But they should have seen that it wasn't going to work.
How can you have the foresight to see what works and what doesn't work?
I don't know. Just as an artistic vision, you just kind of have a vision for how
Well,
things
maybe
work
that's what
together.
their vision was. They were like, all right, we want to give him a grill. I mean, Madonna's wearing a fucking grill. So why
that
wouldn't
vision
the
was
Joker?
horrible.
Right, I agree.
I hated that bullshit.
I
To me-
saw what they were going for. I just thought that the execution was
For
terrible.
me, I
but
thought
I tell you
that would have been awesome if it ended up being Jason Todd, or it ended up being fucking like if he ended up being like not the real Joker, like
right.
he's like a fucking like rip off second Joker, like that would have been cool.
Which I think happens in the DC universe, but that's another story.
It does, but
the thing is, it's just that Joker looked better than the fucking Green Goblin. From
that
Sam Raimi.
that Joker used to be Robin.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, the Jared Leto Joker has scars. Is the same place as the Robin suit in the fucking Batman vs Superman movie.
Huh. So you think they're gonna reveal that?
No. I think they're going to ignore it and bury it and start a new universe with Robert Pattinson, and I don't know if this is going to be the real Joker or if this is just
Well, what do you do with Gal Gadot and the other guy who did okay?
You keep them.
I thought the Flash was a little weak.
So
Or you know what? They're probably not going to do the Justice League ever again because of the fucking debacle. It's going to be 10 years before they touch that. They're going to do 3 Batman movies, definitely. That are going to
Batman's
be
a cash cow. I don't know why they haven't been making Batman movies. I mean, the only reason that
Because
Suicide
of
Squad did
Affleck.
so well. What? So
Yeah.
why? Because
they were making this Batman movie, they were developing it, and then he just decided he didn't want to play Batman anymore. So then they decided, fuck it, we're going to do year 1. And that's basically what they're doing, is like rebooting Batman again.
Did you see the animated year 1 with Bryan Cranston
Yeah, that was
as
good.
Commissioner Gordon? Great movie, guys, if you're listening.
I don't know, I'm psyched for that new fucking Joker.
Yeah?
After seeing that trailer, I'm like, I don't know, De Niro's looking like a creep,
that's true.
and I don't know, it just seems like it's going to be fun. It seems like it's very, like, Scorsese inspired. And I like Scorsese's
I'll give it a shot. I'm gonna have no expectations going in because Warner Brothers has really been extremely hit or miss. I haven't even seen Aquaman. Everybody tells me I should, but
I haven't even.
I haven't seen Shazam. I haven't seen Aquaman.
Right, me neither.
I haven't seen. I saw Batman vs Superman. I saw Justice League. But I think that, and then I saw the Man of Steel movie. So yeah, I haven't seen Wonder Woman. That was the other one I haven't watched yet.
That was worth a while.
Wonder Woman was fun because it was
Yeah.
a period piece, which I enjoyed. reminiscent of Captain America: The First Avenger,
Right.
which was one of the better of the Wave 1 movies. But they cover World War One, which I liked because it gets overlooked. But World War One had a lot of fucked up aspects to it.
For sure.
I mean, it was trench warfare. I mean, people were dying of gangrene in the trenches and shit, and worse. So, I mean, it was a pretty, fucked up battle. So what they allude to in the movie, it's been out a while, so spoilers, that Ares, the god of war, was instigating it.
Alright.
Which brings me to my theory.
Okay.
Instigates, stirs the pot.
Uh-huh.
How do we find out if Paul is Ares, the god of war? And what made me think of that? Could it be the tonic?
You should probably stop drinking that.
Somebody please
all right.
call poison control.
Yeah.
No. I don't know. I mean, usually I'm always twitchy.
Citizen, I think you should stop drinking that.
I can drink what I want. I was in Jaws.
Oh, that's weird. I wasn't sure. I thought you were doing Wallace P. Shawn.
Oh, from
the fucking.
Inconceivable.
Yeah,
I love him.
I never thought to do that guy. He's great.
You can do a good Wallace P. Shawn, bro.
Oh, you should
Oh
develop
my god!
that.
Yeah. I don't know.
You heard it here first, folks.
We could probably get him on the podcast.
Welcome to the cult of contempt.
That dude Phil that was on the podcast, the other Phil, the cool one with the mustache and
Hey,
the
wait a
beard.
minute. What?
Remember Cool Phil when he was on?
I don't know who you're
The
talking
actor.
about. I'm the cool Phil. Oh, you mean
Phil
that guy.
Cassell.
Phil Cassell, yeah.
Cassell.
I think he did a podcast with that dude.
Shut up.
Yeah. Yeah, he had a
cooler than
podcast
me.
for a while, and he got
Yeah?
that guy. We didn't get any big name actors yet.
Yeah,
Don't
but you
feel
said
bad.
he had a podcast, and we still have a podcast.
That's
Oh.
true.
So there's that.
We gotta start upping our celebrities, man.
It's time to start going through the Rolodex and calling in some favors.
My thing with the
Hey, Bobby Steele. This is Paul Moore. How you doing?
We should do is, oh my god, Bobby Steele. I'm a big Misfits fan. It's Dr. Volta.
Hey, you want to come see the Misfits with me? Hey, I got an extra ticket.
Can I tape you making prank calls to Bobby Steele as your characters?
No, not Bobby Steele.
Oh my god, how
Jake
funny.
Homa, though.
Who?
We could do. The other guitar player from the Misfits, nobody remembers that guy.
I don't even know.
Speaking of the Misfits, I have a crazy fan that, sends me these crazy-ass messages.
Alright, I don't think this guy exists. I think it's like Fight Club, where it's him.
I wish it was.
He is Paul and this crazy Misfits fan at the same time. And Paul
This
doesn't
guy-
realize it.
look at
Paul
this.
never sleeps.
To clue you in, since Riot Fest, I thought it was the end of all eras because Jerry smashed his bass since November 2016. I thought that show's going to be something to remember like it was yesterday, so I started making photos for imaginary festivals and always made Misfits headliners. But since I'm friends with Manny, Jim, and Joey, and Bobby, and Eric, and Jerry Jr., and Dr. Chet, and Arthur on Facebook, I give them all different members a turn so they don't think I prefer any particular lineup. I haven't used Robo yet since he has no Facebook, but for the ones with Glenn, Jerry, Doyle, I make the drummer Eric, sometimes Arthur, and since I'm friends with Chud on Facebook, I make Graves era headliners on anyone where Jerry, Glenn, and Doyle headline day 2 for Jerry, Glenn, and Bobby. I make Joey the drummer for Glenn, Jerry, and Franchi. I make Manny the drummer. It's like this is a wall of text of just this insanity. And this guy sends me these memes that I don't understand.
Do they have penises in
And it shows Gem and the holograms. It's you need to not be shy. Because you're not horror punk when you're hungry. Eat a Snickers. Better why? And then an angry Glenn Danzig face. I don't understand what is going on.
Well, what he's saying is, if Glenn Danzig doesn't eat a Snickers, he's Jim in the holograms.
Yeah, but he does it with every member of the Misfits, and he sends it to me.
Oh my god.
Does Glenn like Graves or hate him? Because I heard from people he's just into the Danzig era. He hates him. I don't know what to say to these people.
Oh, this guy is way too upset.
Does he know who you are? I mean,
Probably, but it's just like I don't have time for these conversations. Like I never read that message entirely until today because I just saw a wall of text that said Glenn, Jerry, Doyle, like a bunch of.
Was this Facebook Messenger or does he have your
Facebook
number?
Messenger? Yeah, it's great. I don't think he watches.
You're in Wikipedia under.
I'm famous. I'm in Wikipedia. Phil, where's your Wikipedia, Philip?
If you type in my name in Google, I come right up, buddy boy.
Not in Wikipedia.
It will be.
Someday.
Now.
But it
I can just make my own Wikipedia.
because I googled
Anybody
you
can.
out of curiosity. I was looking for pictures, but then I saw Wikipedia and I was like, oh my god, I gotta fucking see this.
I'm so fucking obsessed
So
with
then-
them. You're fucking
No,
looking
it's
up
funny.
on Wikipedia.
Because, no, because it was all right. Here's what happened. He gave me the shit to sell to pay for the Santos dress, and
I love those words. The
one of the-
Santos dress.
yeah. So one of the items was a Romero movie that was signed by Jerry Only, and it was really hard to make out the signature. And I always like to put a story in the description to kind of sell. Look, this is a legit autograph. So then I looked up Paul on Wikipedia, and then I put he was in the band from this time to this time, played with Bobby Steele. He's in the community, so this is legit. This is a legit Jerry Only autograph. By the way, we're in a podcast together called Cult of Content. I put a fucking ad for Cult of Content.
Nice.
Well done.
Contempt in the fucking. We gotta start having a jar where I have to put a penny in a jar every time I call it contempt.
No,
Contempt.
$20 bill.
Oh, fuck.
And you'll learn the lesson.
Yeah.
If you don't lose a 20 note every time, you're not learning shit.
That's right. That's right.
No, it's just the sound of the penny hitting the jar will remind me that I made a mistake. It's more like a Pavlov
Sounds of the
thing.
20 hitting the jar will remind me, I'm rich, bitch.
I'll be right back.
Okay. My thing about the Joker thing is that do I really care about the Joker's story? I kind of just want to see him fucking live bathroom cat. Oh, great! Nice job, Jim.
Classic James.
The puke thing. The puke scene. Every good podcast needs one. Is he gonna be alright?
Why do we have a camera in the bathroom? That's the better question.
Yeah, really. I watch girls go to the toilet.
Well, I had a bit of a gobble, but I'm okay, mate.
You should stop drinking that stuff, man.
Yeah, I wouldn't drink that.
That's gonna fuck you up.
Yeah, it's gonna make you.
Don't be a fucking wanker.
It's gonna be.
You're gonna die.
Oh no, I've become British! I can't stop talking this way!
Oh God. Oh God.
Here we are now.
I think I'm gonna name my asshole of the week. Did the British you or the American you lose? Fucking my boy. My missing son with the brain sticking out.
Oh.
Well, I've been knackered, so I was unable to bring the Inquisitor to the proper location.
I hope like Brexit is like this character getting out of this podcast.
I hope you get MI-86.
Nice.
What do you want? I did my research before I got here.
You're like James Bond.
Did you ever hear Paul McCartney his first experience at Mars? I didn't know it'd be so red.
Oh, Paul McCartney ate a girl's pussy that she was on the rag?
I didn't know it'd be so red.
I thought that's what you were saying. Is that what Wings is about? Red Wings?
Could be.
I thought she was just a redhead and she had a rusty muff.
Band on the Run was about this bird who used to follow us around, and she had period blood all over her dress, and I didn't want anything to do with it.
Where are we going today? This is getting
Remember
weird.
when Paul McCartney was fucking that girl on one leg?
Yes.
He must have done that.
Oh my God, he probably fucked the shit out of her.
Like,
With that missing leg in the way?
Yeah, I mean, like, wow, you could probably do some crazy positions.
She probably thought Paul McCartney's cock was huge.
You can easily go from doggy style to fucking regular missionary, just like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I abandoned the British thing. It wasn't gonna work. I didn't have time to do makeup. I was gonna come out as a dog-faced boy, but it didn't work out. But we live, we learn.
Well, you dress like you play for AC/DC, so.
Hey. It ain't, it's a long way to the top.
We should
You wanna
start
rock and roll?
we should start a cover band called Gacy-DC,
Nice.
where we all paint our face like John Wayne Gacy, and we play AC/DC songs about murdering kids.
I'm on the playground to hell. It ain't easy.
We should start a band called Fetalica, where we play Metallica songs, but from the perspectives of aborted fetuses.
So.
Darkness imprisoning me.
Nice.
All that I see.
That's a good choice.
Parenthood 4.
We should all convert to Judaism and start a band that's a tribute band called Motley Jew.
Is this what like this guy wrote you on Messenger too?
Oh no, this is just my bits. I've been working on my comedy.
Without Jews in my life.
No, you can't sing that.
I think we should have that guy on the podcast.
Which guy?
The guy who wrote you the message.
Oh God, I don't want that guy to even know that I talked about that. I hope he never listens to this. I'll have his smiling fucking face out there in the space courtyard, just fucking staring at me through the window like a fucking Stephen King character. Oh God.
I put together all my Misfits action figures, and sometimes I let this guy be the drummer, and sometimes, oh wait, my mom's calling me for dinner.
Sometimes I jerk off on all my Misfits characters and I put them all together and make Dultron.
Who posted the Dultron?
I posted the Dultron.
That was great. It took me a minute to realize it. I read it a couple times. I was like, okay, they're a bunch of dullards, all in flannel with their fucking pumpkin light. Yeah, fucking white people.
That was a good one.
Yeah, too bad the cops didn't fucking shoot that. We'd have one less today, and it would have been a good day for it.
I really think race was a factor. I think.
Do you think the camera's rolling is a factor?
Yes, absolutely. That's another thing too. When they know they're on camera, there's a fucking media circus there. Like you could see when the guy was running towards them. It's like fucking.
I mean, we're living in the days of Eric Gardner and shit like that. Like, you know, but maybe these guys went a little too far in the other direction.
Yeah, in the direction of having no balls and fucking just seeming like they're like incompetent. That was like Police Academy. Like, I was expecting Bobcat Goldthwait to just come out, hey, we're real cops! Ah! You know, like, fucking terrible.
That would have been a great topper.
Tower gets him at the end.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm not even a real police officer. I just live in this town, you know? Like,
Yeah.
So if you ever want to escape the cops, just strip naked and smile and
run at them.
And
they will run away. They'll
There's a
run
lot of
away
things
with
that
an
work.
assault rifle in their possession. That guy had like a fucking legit rifle, and fucking the cops are. Ah! He was like carrying it by the little handle, like, ah! Like, what is this guy doing? What the fuck is this?
Can you imagine walking back into the precinct after that incident? That guy must have been.
Hey, did you see the news?
Hey Jerry, did you drop your purse when you were running away from the naked guy?
That's like the cops on like the fucking old Batman TV show.
Right, yeah.
They're so
And like the
incompetent,
Keystone cops, like just like bumping into each other, like all doofuses. That's just
That cop that he was tangoing with was not like, you know, a specimen of masculinity.
he was like a big fucking beefy dude though. Like you would think like a swing from him with a
Wait,
baton.
can we look at it again? He looked like a fat old man to me.
It's like,
Here you see him running from the suspect and with a gun in his hand.
Stop chasing me.
But obviously the man is of no threat because
Alright, he's in better shape than I thought.
It kind of looks like a game. It looks like they're playing.
spraying him with the shit right in his face, right in his eyes.
Did he get? Yeah, he got him because the guy's like.
And then he just runs over like, I'm gonna go massage this old man over here. And then I love how the news crew is like, nobody does anything to help this cop. Like you would think like maybe a bystander. Like there's all people fucking watching this unfold. Like, this is just okay. Like, I'm gonna give you a smack. I'm gonna give you a smack. Look at me carrying my rifle with the little handle. I'm gonna give you a smack. Oh, it's so bad. It's so bad.
There's got to be some sort of takedown you're trained to do. I guess no matter what you do in the cop
don't you have a
situation,
taser? I mean, obviously the pepper spray doesn't work well outside.
Right, yeah,
as well as it would, it doesn't work well from fucking 12 feet away when you're running from the suspect.
Yeah, I mean, he's got to directly breathe it into the eyes, nose,
Yeah,
and throat.
it works well in a room, as I learned when I was a child. Look at that, I love how he's just running down the street. Like, what the fuck?
He's like flailing his arms jovially. He's having a good time. But not for long.
No, but he fakes out the fucking cops right here. It's great. He fucking runs into the woods like... Oh my
Those
God.
guys look like they had enough and they had ready to take him down.
Yeah, they didn't take him down hard enough.
That's crazy.
You should have put a breaking news banner over it. We could be like legitimate 24 hours news.
Yeah, so it came out 24 hours ago.
I can't believe that.
Oh, we've apprehended.
And I know, at one point I had the job where I would have had to pixelate that guy's dick.
I don't think you'd have to do much work, James.
You were a dick pixelator?
I did a lot of pixelating in my day.
Is that a frame-by-frame thing?
How many naked
Actually,
people?
with that, now with non-linear, then it's just an effect. But like in the old days, you wouldn't have been able to show it really. They would have had to done it in the Avid, which it was like in those days it was like one in the whole building and only one girl could use it, and that was Windows 12.
The olden days.
And if you sucked up to a person, they teach you how to use it so you could get another job. But
What's an Avid?
Avid was the first nonlinear program, or at least the first network one, right?
Okay.
Yeah, no.
They had one at Willie
there
Pig.
there was like. Other
But Avid was the network standard for a while.
Yeah, Avid was the standard, but like. You could edit video on like a video toaster, like an Amiga back in the day.
Oh yeah.
There was always different ways to edit video, but yeah, that was like the first like reliable good one. Yeah, they used to like edit movies.
The
and
Amiga
shit.
toaster that was so, I edited on that at Fairlawn Creative Cable, which I did before News 12, and it's fucking clunky. It's
Yeah, it's an archaic fucking old
clunky.
machine. But I've always been interested in the aesthetic of it because it's like something. Once you see it and you know what the tells are, you can always pick that out of like old shows. Like, oh, they definitely did that on like a video toaster or whatever. Like the different things. Like, there's different effects and shit that it does. Like, that's just like kind of like a cheesy. Like, it dates that footage.
Is like in like you know how they have like First Man and Ape to Man. Is the Amiga computer like the Cro-Magnon man in the middle? It's always Amigas were always the step in the right direction because a buddy of mine used to have one, and we played this crazy Sinbad game, and it was a lot of fucking fun. They had fun games,
They had great games,
but they were always clunky, and everything took forever to load. Like you'd be like, okay, go left, or it'd be one of those. You see this picture, and the graphics were pretty good for the day. They were about 16-bit, just as good as like Super Nintendo.
Huh.
Like the Ninja Gaiden NES, in between scenes. It was like that level of graphics. Yeah. So and then you would pick what to say to the person. If you said the right sequence of phrases to the person, you could get more stuff. Mm-hmm. But it was just like once you did that, you like stood there for 10 minutes waiting for the next thing.
Oh yeah.
And it was like a delay, like when you're playing like Dragon Slayer, and all of a sudden there's like this delay, and then you're dead.
It's loading like old porn.
Yeah. It's like so, but it was a step in the right direction, but like I don't know, Mac I guess just did it better.
I don't know.
Were you always a PC guy or a Mac guy? You too. Like,
PC mostly.
I was always a PC guy. I bought a Mac when they switched to Intel from PowerPC because I could install Windows and still do what I wanted after my.
But I heard there was issues with that though.
Oh, my Mac sucked. Fucking, I recorded an entire Accelerators record and like literally I didn't even have time to back it up. It was like we're there at Ron's house, like fucking mixing it down after we had recorded it, like just making rough mix downs. And my fucking blue screen, the computer shut off, wouldn't come back on, just a click, click, click. the hard drive. I looked, the serial number like matched all these other ones that if it started with these 3 numbers or whatever, it was fucking defective from the factory. You can bring it back to Apple, it'll give me a new one. It was fucking 20 gigs, so I was like, fuck that, I'm just gonna buy a bigger one, because I bought the lowest end Mac that I could that was like good processor, but like low RAM and low hard drive, because I'm like, I'm just gonna replace that shit anyway. Because the first gen MacBook you could. So I maxed out my shit, I threw a fucking new hard drive in there, boom, good to go. Then my logic board had like my thermal paste was all fucked up. I had to take the whole goddamn thing apart, fucking reapply thermal paste, put that thing on, put it all back together. Worked great, worked like a champ. Then the computer just started turning weird colors. Oh, sure. So I look online, they're like, oh yeah, that's a flaw, like with the plastic, it just, I don't know, turns fucking colors. Like a Super Nintendo, if you see one now, a lot of them are like bright yellow instead of the cream color they kind of used to.
Oh shit, really?
Yeah, it was like, I don't know, some oxidization, I have no fucking idea.
Huh.
But it's just like a comedy of errors. Like, I paid $1,300, like this is supposed to be like a good computer, you know?
Right.
Like, it was like a piece of shit.
Right.
It still runs, because I put a fucking SSD in there. It's not a great computer. But honestly, like, I use it for shit. Like, I'll use it to rate games or whatever. Like, I'm not rating anything crazy. I always rate, like, 8-bit games and 16-bit, so it's, like, not anything needs too much processing, but, like, I don't know. I don't recommend it. And also, too, like, I lost support for my operating system after, I think, 3 years or 4 years. It was like, oh, yeah, you can't upgrade past this one now, Snow Leopard. So I was, like, stuck with that. They're up to, like, version, I don't know, like, 10... fucking whatever now.
Yeah,
so
Apple
like,
wants to commoditize everything.
Yeah, and the same thing happened with my iPhone too. I had like the iPhone 4, like the 4S. It worked for a long time. Like it never died. Like fucking had it for years, and then finally it's like I can't use my banking app. I can't use any of my apps anymore because they're all up like new iOS. So I'm like fuck this. Like I have to get a new one. I got a 7. Like it's kind of old, but I'm not an Apple guy. Honestly, I think they're overpriced. Like, you could build a Hackintosh now that's, like, just as stable with all parts you could go to Micro Center and buy. And install Mac OS. Install Mac OS on it, and you're good to go. If you want to use Mac OS, like, you don't have to fucking buy an Apple anymore. Like, fuck them. They can't design a computer worth shit.
No shit.
They're like last laptops, like, the keyboard had a problem. If it got any dust in it, in your keyboard, the key wouldn't work. It's like, who would design a keyboard like that?
Right.
Like, people are fucking slobs. Like, I see people eating over their computer all the time.
Yeah.
Like, you turn their keyboard over, all shit comes out.
Yeah.
Fucking,
you
really think that, like, oh, if any dust gets in here, you're fucked. Like, who's gonna fucking buy that?
Right, exactly.
That's horrible.
Yeah, it's not good for people.
I always was under the assumption that, you know, Apple stuff was for more creative people. You could do better stuff. And I had a hand-me-down laptop from my brother-in-law, Skip, who died, and I got an early program. I got some, I don't know, I guess it was whatever the free giveaway program is. I think that's what Alana used for the video. And I just I didn't get into it. Because one, I'm on a laptop, which I'm not really comfortable with. And it's hard to do nuanced things with, no mouse. I don't know. Maybe I'm
what I think is that.
But I found the program that I acquired from you I just caught on to it.
Here's the thing.
It was more
I think
intuitive.
Apple's really good for simple people that want to be artistic. Mm-hmm. With one mouse button and all that bullshit. Oh, it just works. Yeah, you can mess with your photos and make your videos, whatever. It's like a whole other market than the professional market that just runs Apple, they run Avid, they run fucking Pro Tools, all that shit. Those guys are fucking OG doing that for years. But I think there's a whole other subset of people that think like, oh, I can take a photo on my phone and do all this bullshit, and it's great. Be artistic, I'm happy for you. But, I don't know, it makes it fucking very attainable, where I think on a PC, it's a little bit more like, yeah, you gotta find this program, install it, like, it's a little more complicated than opening an app store and your shit, you just have it, whatever.
Right.
I don't mean to shit on Apple people. Please don't take it as that, but
I don't know. I thought the iPod was.
I love
was
the iPod.
A lot more slick
I got an iPod
than a
Touch and I
Zoom.
got an iPhone. I mean, I don't hate the fucking company, but I also think of people too. Like, I never throw in anybody's face like, oh, your phone was made in a Chinese like slave factory. You know, like, it's easy to do.
So were my pants. So were my.
Everything was, yeah. But it's like, but I'm never righteous about that either, because it's like, well, I understand they exist. Like, I can't physically do anything to stop this from happening. This is going to happen. Like, consumerism will work as it may. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
People are always going to buy these phones. There's always going to be a market. They're always going to be made somewhere.
Right.
It's fucked up, but like, I don't know. You can't stand on certain laurels and then not take up other ones. So I take up like pretty much none of them. Like, my thing is like, don't hurt anybody. Right? Children, women, men, whoever, don't hurt anybody. Like, just live and let live, you know? Like, say what you want, but don't like take a break and smash somebody's face. Unless they're gonna smash your face, you know?
I mean, those factories have lifted millions of people out of poverty, but it's at some point we're gonna, run out of poor countries, and
Are we
gonna
though?
change.
We're gonna become the poor country.
I think the robots are just gonna take over everything.
Do you guys remember that movie with the skateboard kids in the post-apocalyptic world, and like China bought us or something?
I'm not
Fuck,
sure.
I gotta look this. I gotta start doing my research.
Are you sure it's China or Japan?
Do you know about the movie called Star Wars Episode 9?
I heard
It's not
rumor
called
about it.
Episode 9, actually. It's just called The Rise of Skywalker.
Right.
They don't number it.
Nope. And you know what I realized too? I watched a YouTube video that clued me into this. Return of the Jedi?
It was supposed to be Revenge of the Jedi.
No. That was just fucking to fake out people that were making bootleg merchandise, and then they fucking... That was to fuck with the bootleggers.
No. They release Revenge of the Jedi ads on the fucking counter stuff.
No way.
I had a carded figure that had the Admiral Akbar offer that said upcoming movie Revenge of the Jedi.
Well, then that even makes sense too. But the Jedi that returns is Anakin Skywalker. That like made me change my whole like perception of like Return of the Jedi. I'm like, oh, because like Luke was never trained, right? Like he just kind of was fucking swinging a lightsaber around like a little kid,
Right.
you know?
He really did a leap from Empire to Jedi in his skills. Like, how the fuck did that all happen so
I
fast?
thought it was just kind of implied that he was kind of training them all the time. Then just a period of time went by.
Well, they dropped a new trailer. It starts with about 12 seconds of blackness and then another 20 seconds of footage from the old
I was
movies.
gonna say, it wasn't really that much of a teaser.
There's a shot that confused the hell out of
There's
me.
a couple of shots that confuse the hell out of me. We're gonna get there. Eventually, I think when the fucking thing eventually plays.
Who's doing this one? Do you know?
Abrams.
There it goes. Oh,
Abrams again.
finally.
Back to Abrams.
Back to Abrams, because the other guy threw a bunch of shit out the window. I think that was
Right.
that they just shoehorned into this movie based on the trailer. This one looks the most intriguing to me, but it's also because I think the Emperor is back.
That's your favorite character, right?
Yes.
It's who you based your whole life off.
Yeah.
Your friends will
Yeah.
die.
The prequel trilogy is basically my origin story, and now I'm at Empire Strikes Back.
Take your guitar, write a song, and strike me down with all your
You get to see all this old bullshit. Mace Windu, I like that they showed him.
Yeah.
Mace was a badass.
I hope he
in the
comes back.
cartoons.
That's
Did you
true.
ever see the cartoons that were done by the guys that did Samurai Jack? The first.
Oh yeah,
Wars
that's
ones?
right. Yeah.
They were great. There was this one scene where there were like thousands of battle droids and like.
All right,
Mace
here we
Windu's
go.
Shoving them around. Okay.
Now you get the crazy shit.
All right.
Here we
we're
go.
on a desert planet again.
Well,
She's still
Desert
alive
Planet,
somehow.
the story of a generation. Oh, they all sped in there.
How'd they get that many ships?
They got
all
that
of a
many
sudden?
ships there, yeah. Evil C-3PO. Did you see that?
Yeah, he had the eyes.
Yep.
I read a thing
I mean, he
online.
was Vader's droid.
I read a theory about
That's
that,
true.
actually. That they're trying to find some ship and they upload a battle droid's commands into C-3PO. in order to. This shit blows my mind too, right?
Yeah, that is what confused me. Is she evil now? I mean, the double-edged lightsaber was always a.
I think it's a projection, like or like a dream, or like when Luke has to fight. Yeah, no number there. You notice that?
Yeah.
December.
Be there.
I'm playing the eBay game.
Okay.
I'm in the market for Star Wars stuff. I'm holding on to it, and when that movie comes out, I'm just gonna put it all up and.
I think that evil C-3PO thing. I think that thing I read online that they pop like a battle droid's memory into him, and it fucking makes him like kind of crazy. That kind of makes sense for him.
Did that happen in episode 2 when he was in that stupid dumb factory scene where he had the wrong head? Oh my god.
I don't know, maybe.
Ugh.
But and then her evil, I think, is the fucking. I think that's like when Luke has the. You know when he was like fighting on Dagobah.
Oh yeah.
Fighting nothing. Like I think that's that.
Okay. I had a theory, a 3PO theory. All right. So Han Solo is about to be put into the carbonite chamber. Chewie's flipping around stormtroopers, and then Han calms down and says there'll be another time. Before Han says that, Boba Fett pulls up his blaster, but Vader puts it down. At that point, Chewie was turned. 3PO was in the line of shot of Boba Fett. Did Vader realize his childhood robot was in danger and prevent Boba Fett from shooting? Or was Vader like, let it go?
That could be. I wonder if they thought that at the time.
I don't think they thought it in 82.
I doubt it.
I thought it was, we owe this guy to Jabba. Jabba's working with us. We got to make sure he comes back in one piece.
Yeah.
Keep the peace with Jabba. That was my kind of.
Well, why? No, Darth Vader's not afraid of Jabba the Hutt. If Darth Vader wanted to, he could have showed up to Jabba's palace and killed everyone.
Force choked him?
Yeah.
With what? His fucking Force arms?
I'm just saying, I know for some reason, and it was in the books that came out in the 90s, they weren't all Zahn books. There were a lot of short story compilations like Tales of Mos Eisley and Tales of Jabba's Palace. Did you read any of those?
No, I had some of those, yeah. I had the one with Shizor.
The species that is Jabba in this universe, and it all carried over into the role-playing game as well. That species was force resistant. They weren't. Hence the your mind tricks won't work on me,
boy.
Yeah. But I don't know. Vader with force lightning could fucking fry a slug.
Does Vader ever use force lightning?
I think if he wanted to, he could conjure it.
I don't think he could. I don't think he was that evil.
Oh, you think you have to be really evil to...
I think you have to be fully consumed by evil to use force lightning.
You heard it here first, folks. Fully consumed by evil.
Didn't Yoda used it against Dooku, right? Or he just pushed it back at him. I don't know if to rewatch that. I don't know. What did you guys think of Yoda fighting with a lightsaber? Did you think it was stupid?
Horrible. That was.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think it was kind of fun.
You know what? I was like fucking annoyed when.
I love that he's making old man noise while he's doing it. Like,
he pulls open his shit and his lightsaber like flies into his hand, and then he's flipping around like. That's this guy just pretends to be a fucking cripple. Fuck him, like, what an asshole.
Wow.
Oh, I act like I'm from Middle Earth, but really I can fucking fly around. Then why wouldn't you just do that all the time?
I mean, how old was he? He was like super
Who cares?
old.
He's a fucking asshole. Yoda. Fuck him.
All right.
I mean, they could only
growing up, who was like your absolute favorite Star Wars character?
I guess it was between Luke and Han Solo.
Mine was always Han.
Boba Fett.
Really? The funny thing about Boba Fett is if you add up all his screen time, 8 minutes, 9 minutes?
You know what? Fuck his screen time. It was because of Shadows of the Empire on N64.
Oh, gotcha.
And like that.
Oh, that badass scene where you're fighting him and he's like up high shooting.
Flying around.
Yeah. Oh.
Fight fucking Slave One. Like, awesome. It's fucking nuts, man.
That game is great. And then if you fall off a cliff, there's this awful sound of the guy screaming. Like,
yeah, you fall off the cliff and then you fall really fucking fast. Yeah, I gave that game to Jeff from Devil in the Belfry. I had that for 64, but it was like one of those games where it's like, I played this, and now that I play modern games, I can't play this anymore.
Right.
Like,
because the graphics are so...
No, it's not the graphics, it's the controls are so fucking, like...
clunky.
They're so clunky and weird, it's like, you got to like hold this one button to do this. Fuck that.
Do you shy away from the classics because of this, like Donkey Kong, Frogger?
I'll play the classics.
Frogger
I'll play
does
the
not
classics
go-
because anything that's like sprite based, like Frogger or any of that shit, I'll play because it's all the D-pad, you know.
Right.
That's like an arcade joystick. Like I'm all about that, but I'm
just saying, like from when you push to when he jumps, there's too much of a delay.
No, I don't think so. I just always.
Or Hubert's even worse.
Hubert sucks. I never like Hubert, but no, I think of it like when they were still trying to figure out. Video games weren't in 3D for a long time.
Yeah.
When that came out, right? When something like that, or Resident Evil is like to me, like I loved Resident Evil when I was a kid. It was scary, but it was scary because it's got tank control, so it's like you have to turn this way and walk forward, and like then the camera angle changes and all your directions kind of change. Like everything gets kind of fucked up. Like it kind of fucked me up. And it was like a more harrowing experience because it's like I'm trying to aim a gun that, you know, it was just
right. And if I remember correctly with that game, I played it a little bit. You walk into a room and a certain thing. Now all of a sudden a cutscene will happen, and then you know a monster.
Yeah,
I remember there was like a tentacle in a tub, and then if you get too close to it, it kills you. Or something.
Yeah, it's just like crazy shit like that.
But I like that they combined, you know, those Ninja Gaiden cutscenes and they put it into the game.
I did too. I loved Resident Evil, but I can't play Resident Evil now, like at all.
It's just too. It's too clunky.
Fucking archaic. Like if the controls were that up move me forward, and then the other control stick kind of controlled my direction, I would be in good shape.
More like Bond, is what you're saying.
Yeah, or like Bond kind of was like the standard for like first-person shooting is, and then when you put two control sticks on there instead of just one, that N64 only has the one analog.
Right.
So you still kind of have to press that one button to aim up or down.
And once you have
the two, the one moves you fucking strafes you left and right, moves you forward and back, and the other one turns you and fucking allows you to move up and down.
The PlayStation was
PlayStation,
like that.
Yeah, well, it got that eventually. But Resident Evil didn't get that until like Resident Evil 4.
Yeah.
So like, and even still, the camera's like kind of wonky in that game, but it's cool for that game. That game is like, that's a sick Resident Evil game. That's one of my favorite ones.
4.
Yeah, 4. But I don't know. There was like a transitional period where they're trying to figure out what's the best way to control shit in a 3D environment that we've never done. And it's not like a computer where like I always played Doom, I always played Duke, played Quake, all that shit. So like mouse and keyboard, WASD, whatever.
I hate that. Yeah.
But once you realize the point of it, it's like I hated it too when I was a kid, and also too because of Bond, I have to invert my Y axis on every game, the up and down, because on Bond, when you press up, it moves your head down, and when you press down, it moves your head up. So it's like kind of.
So you have okay.
So it makes sense to me why. When I move up on the mouse, I would look down, and when I would move down, I would look up. But to other people in the world, they're like fucking so perplexed. Like, why do you change that all the time? Like, this is the worst playing like this. It's like, because of GoldenEye, and I just changed it in every fucking game since. Because of GoldenEye. Like, I can't play a game where when I move the mouse up, I look up. I expect to look down. It blows. It's like fucking mind blowing.
Yeah, why would you? Yeah,
But I always think of the analog stick. The way it was explained to me is like the analog stick's like your head. So if you move your head up, you're gonna look down. If you move your head back, you're gonna look up. That's how it was explained. And I was like, oh, that makes perfect sense. And then it just clicked.
It's ingrained.
And I never thought of it any other way. Huh. That's like the old school fucking thing. Like they don't do that anymore. Like every game now, when you press up on that stick, you look up.
Right.
And it fucks me up every game.
What do you guys think was the best of all time Star Wars game to bring it full circle? Arcade or
the Star Wars arcade game that was on that you sat in, the Sega one, where you like blow up the Death Star and all that bullshit.
Oh, but then there's the Ewok board where you're like picking
you're
up,
on the thing. Yeah,
that was a badass game, and eventually you fight Vader in front of the Emperor.
Yeah,
they do all game. 3 movies. Yeah, but oh my god, that was a Dave and Buster's. The big places had to have it.
Yeah,
because it was probably a costly game.
Oh yeah.
Unless I don't know, do those guys just rent this shit, or I don't know. I imagine
no, they buy that.
Dave & Buster's buys their own.
They buy that, and then
There was a similar Star Trek game like that where you sit in and you're kind of walking around the bridge and shooting Klingons and shit.
I'm also partial though to the fucking. There was one I used to play. I forget what system. Maybe PS2, where it was like a Jedi, I think Academy or something. Like you could have 2 lightsabers, or you could have a double, and you could fight other people and all this other bullshit.
That's pretty badass.
I forget what it was, but that was a pretty cool game.
We talked about it once before.
And
One of my favorites was that Street Fighter Star Wars game where you could be
Masters of Terra
So
Sky.
awesome.
And then,
We should play that one day.
The
Oh,
Tusken
yeah.
Raider, he had some cool moves, and when he wins, I love that shit. And then to go really back, the second Star Wars game for Atari was Empire Strikes Back, and you're basically, so speeder fighting. I was good at it. So I just remember it was like the only game I was really good at because I had a hard time with a lot of games. Because a lot of games just sucked. Like, Adventure confused me. Combat, I could never get the controls right on certain games, but I don't know. How into the weeds with the Atari?
I love it. I love Combat. Combat is one of my favorite games.
The tank one!
Well, it has tank controls, which I hated in Resident Evil, but I like it in Combat because I'm piloting a fucking tank.
You're piloting a tank.
Or the airplane controls differently. Like, there's different levels.
Did you have a legit 2600? And did you, or were you an Intellivision guy?
No, I had the one through the TV.
Did you own one as
No,
because that was way beyond. Or did you play the retro systems?
My uncle owned it, and I used to play it at his house.
Oh, I see.
And my other friend had one.
I was just curious because, like,
we would hook it up, play a Superman game where you have to bring all the parts together and fucking.
That seemed to be the theme for a lot of games. E.T. was the same fucking
collecting a bunch of shit. And then,
And I hated games like that. I liked more side-to-side shooters. And there was this game I was talking to Lance Fogel about called Kaboom.
You go down the thing, put the bombs, go away from
the bombs, and then you're just basically
walk.
catch it. But if you hit this one button, you can change the size, or after certain levels, your platform to catch the bombs goes from this big to like this big, and there's a pattern to the way they're throwing them, and you can only get so far, and then I broke a controller playing the game.
Wow. You could use a Genesis controller on the Atari.
Oh yeah?
Same plug,
That's crazy. I don't know, every time 2600 I come into is old, dusty, wasn't taken care of, and never really works. And those little ones that have the games pre-programmed in, some of them suck.
Dude, get a Raspberry Pi loaded up with games. That's what I did. I got every fucking game that I ever want to play.
I don't know what that is. Is that like at the secondhand store?
No, you can get that at Micro Center. It's like $60, and then it's this other thing that you run. You pop all these games on it.
And you just download the games from the ether?
They're just, it's... You get an image.
I don't know, but then I'd have to invest in a controller for the computer, and now I'm really in the weeds.
I got a bunch of controllers. I think I might have an extra Pi I could get you, actually. I'll look
It'd be
around.
interesting. It'd be fun to play Berserker again. But PlayStation or I'm sorry. GameCube. One of the company that owned Joust and a bunch of other Spy Hunter.
Williams.
Yeah, they had their arcade classics.
Yeah.
I used to play the shit out of that, and it was great. And I felt like I don't know, that was my controller. The GameCube controller just agreed with me.
I like playing shit mostly on if I can, on an actual arcade board.
Sure.
That stuff to me
you wear out after a while. I did the all-day pass at fucking Silverball. My arm was killing me by the end of the day.
By the end of it, if you don't keep up with it. But I can play way longer on an arcade stick than I can with a controller.
Yeah.
Like, depending on what I'm playing, there's games I play where it's like I can play this fucking all night. Like Red Dead Redemption is nothing on the controller, but fucking Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat. Oh my god, it's like by 3 matches I'm like fucking just a cripple. Like I can't move my hands anymore. It's like I can't physically play this.
Did you ever play the Neo Geo World of Heroes? Their answer to Street Fighter. I was really good at that one. I used to use that weird guy with the mask. But I was also good at the guy who was basically Ryu.
I beat your ass at fucking N64 this
You did beat my ass, but you own it, and You're getting all Lance Foglian. Oh, please, Mr. Doodle, I owned the machine for 10 years.
I destroyed you.
I did have that one good kill shot. He opened the door.
Boom, right in the head. I can only hope real life ends that way. Cheers. Cheers.
I'm out of stuff to drink.
Well, and on that note, we're the fuck out of here.
All right. No asshole of the week. No
You're
Inquisitor.
the asshole of the week for losing Inquisitor.
I'm the asshole of the week for
My son.
I'm the asshole of the week, and I'll tell you what. First, Doug's face was not in that piece, and I feel like shit for
No,
that.
we're gonna have a part 2 with the Doug interview.
I mean, and if you ever bring him in here, I'm just gonna take over. Him and I are gonna be like Toy Galaxy the whole
He's gonna come
fucking
in
time.
here one. Wow.
And then I'm the asshole of the week because I left Inquisitor home again, and he was filled with some questions from the show. He had a few questions and a baby arm.
Nice.
Oh.
A baby.
Was it holding an apple?
Maybe.
I got one.
You know.
Yeah, I do.
What's your asshole of the week?
My asshole of the week is the guy running around with no pants driving the police crazy in Virginia.
Cop out.
You think it's a cop out?
That's a good pun.
What's that?
It's a good pun.
Thanks, man.
You're welcome.
No, it's been a good week for me so far, so that's my asshole of the week.
Phil's having a good week.
Yep.
Phil's having a good week.
We're gonna have a holiday weekend this weekend.
Yeah.
Wait. Were you supposed to talk about somebody squirting? Can we do this for 10 seconds?
We can do that for next week.
Tune in next week.
We're gonna have backyard wrestling too. I found a VHS tape where me and my friend do a best of 5 falls match.
Nice.
No, not really. It really doesn't hold up, but I'll tell you. Oh boy, there's a part where I almost break my friend's neck.
Oh my god.
And I laugh with like a sick glee watching it now because it's like he walks around, he's not like Christopher Reeve.
Right.
But like there was a point where I dropped my friend on his head and I'm like, oh fuck, can you move your arms and legs?
Oh my god.
And he's like, don't be a bitch.
Nice.
Do it again.
Nice.
Are we gonna see Nightmare Freddy getting his ass kicked?
No Nightmare Freddy. But no, it was I did get my ass kicked relentlessly in the match.
Nice.
Because my girlfriend noticed. She's like, why do you always lose? And I said, because I could kick everybody's ass in real life.
Is that why?
Yes.
You want them to feel good about themselves.
And on that note, that's what we're getting at here.
All right, bye. We love you.
Love you guys.
Have more sex. Bye, honey.
We hope you enjoyed our presentation of Cult of Contempt podcast. If you have any questions or comments, or want to hear your band on the show, just write us at cultofcontemptpodcast@gmail.com. If you'd like to see back episodes of the show, youtube.com/Plan10 Studios, cultofcontempt.org, or right here on Facebook, Cult of Contempt Network. Even check us out on Instagram at Cult of Contempt Podcast. You want to reach Paul? It's at Paul Mauld on Twitter and Instagram, and Paul of the Living Dead on Facebook.com. Phil Perry, the writer, on Instagram, and his Facebook fan page at Phil Perry, the writer. I'm Jim Cook at Jim Cook on Facebook or Jim Cook Voice Actor on Facebook. You want to get a hold of me directly, jcookvoice@yahoo.com. On behalf of Paul and Phil, I want to thank you for listening. We'll see you next week at 8:15. I'm Jim Cook. Transmission out. Stand by for contact.
Toys, books, tapes and DVDs, antiquities, oddities, an embalmed horse, all at amazing prices. Necropolis, serving up everything from superheroes to the obscure. 59 Passaic Street, Garfield, New Jersey. Don't forget to visit the haunted basement for some spooky deals. Necropolis, 59 Passaic Street, Garfield, New Jersey. Patronize if you dare. Toys, books, tapes and DVDs,